All right, we're going online.
We're
recording? Yes.
Friends
Yeah,
family
okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday, August 12th meeting of the CEDC Governance and Nomination Committee. Getting off on our agenda, first we have a consent agenda, so not sure if everyone's read through it or if there's any questions, comments, or edits to it.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried. Thank you. Moving on to the board candidates. I know this is kind of a larger discussion that needs to happen because we have Ken who has resigned from the board. And he's also the chair of the loan committee, so that hits on a couple levels. And then there's probably a different discussion. I don't know if it's at the same time about just the open board positions and filling them.
Right, and I think the intent of having the conversation today would be to have packet, including the packet for the full board. There are materials that Lisa has put together in the past that shows the board members, their terms, their location, their
Yeah.
business affiliation, and there's geographic location. And really try to put some focus on the board in terms of coming up with names. That then this committee could vet before anyone goes and asks people to be on the board. You don't want someone that, just because they turn the name in, think that that person's gonna be selected, because then they might be, go to that person and disappoint the person and put us, position where you don't need to be. And then, I do think that, what do we have, 3 seats, Lisa?
I think there's two.
Two.
But now it's
I think
Ken.
Two
there's
with-
3.
Now it's three with
Okay.
Ken.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, but in any event, we should have a pool and, we should.
Ken, Christian. That's good.
There's somebody else too.
So I think that was the purpose.
Yeah, we changed the number.
Yeah, we did reduce the number. So we'll take a look at that and, Lisa and I will put together material that can be put into the board packet. That, perhaps we could spend 5 or 10 minutes on at the board meeting.
I'm having a hard time because I'm vetting some people, and what I find, people who I think, it's been a year that I'm thinking about this person, I finally talked to them. Some people have lost their jobs, so they don't wanna get into a board because they don't know if they get a new job, would they be able to make a morning meeting? Some people can't make the morning meeting. So it's literally these 2 things, which is a crazy checklist. Can you make a morning meeting every month, just to start one?
Morning
Not
meeting
just
is so hard.
It's really hard.
And noontime is hard for others and late afternoon is.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, like,
Morning meeting's best for me.
Yeah,
Right.
Really.
and even a little earlier.
Yeah, totally. Like 7:30.
8 o'clock.
Slot at 2 o'clock.
But,
so I don't know how to, there's nothing we can do to address that, it just makes it a smaller pool of
Right.
people who are eligible.
well, and we, for a while, we were heavy with not-for-profit leaders, and then, finding more people who are business owners, is always important. So I do think that, the follow-up to that, at the future meeting, Riley and I are going to work on, for the September board meeting, a presentation to the board, on membership. And, in conjunction with the conversation with Jim. And I know we had talked at one point, asking a couple of board members, to serve on a membership subcommittee. And if we could ask, for some volunteers for that, we only need, 2 plus Jim and I and Riley. So that we could present something at the September meeting. And then, make it easy for board members to help us with membership solicitation. In some places, we've used, Dear Mary, Rachel Levine on our board suggested I reach out to you to tell you about, because I think there's some
Yeah.
education that's gonna have to be done.
A membership campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I think, we won't have captains where, you do the car dealers and you do the restaurant owners and you do the. But, the old United Way kind of concept, but we do want to see if we can, increase our membership by 30%. It's difficult because the people who. We're not gonna compete with Chamber, where you pay anywhere from $700 to $1,500. And at the higher end, people are sophisticated to know how much we're getting from the county.
Yeah.
And, I paid at the office, or I paid through my tax dollars. So we have to really, and that could be a discussion at the September board meeting, what do the other board members, beyond this small subcommittee think are what we, the staff might think are the highlights is why you wanna join, might not be, the same, reasons that you wanna join. And, years ago, it would have been good corporate citizenship, but, those days are gone. Half of the members, of organizations like ours do it for marketing. But if they don't feel, how many people know we get $5 million, $5.8 million in loans to almost 10% of the businesses in the county over the last 10 years? I think there's a great story to tell, but
Yeah.
You can't tell the whole story because it dilutes the things that people might be interested in buying. So, and then, as you, we'll also put the current member list in the materials for board candidates. Cause you may look through there and say, oh, why didn't we ask, they've been a member and they're paying dues, why didn't we?
that's what I was wondering, if you can
Yeah.
mine that list,
Yeah,
or even
we have,
businesses that we've given loans to that are successful and
yeah,
they know about us and they're.
Right.
and it just will prime people's thought process and they may say, well, oh, I didn't think of that person in that business, but that's not the person I'd recommend his competitor or her competitor. So we'll just try to, do that at the August and September meeting.
I was just thinking as we're brainstorming, and I don't have a person in mind, but as far as an industry, and it may be difficult, but it would seem like if we could get a developer or someone in the building trades,
Right.
all the talk we have about
Yeah.
affordable housing.
Mhm.
Like we're begging to have someone from that.
Yeah.
Now, that's a challenge. It's kind of like trying to get a farmer, right?
Right.
It's tough, but just as you're thinking about it, I would think that would be an area great to get.
Even if it's
someone.
someone who's a project manager, it doesn't,
Right.
it doesn't necessarily have to be the business owner. It's
Just
someone
someone
who
who's not a-
has professional
Well,
experience.
I thought it's building inspector, cause you can't get them on the phone.
Yeah, they'll have. I've thought about that too. There's so many industry, early morning meetings, they're just not gonna be able to make it.
Well, and as you know, many of the building inspectors are contract and they, spend a half a day here. And
Yeah, they're,
Yeah.
exactly.
I remember we had an issue at the town of Claverick, and, based on the demand, the building department, the building inspector is there 3 hours a week. And, we were able to see him and he was very, helpful. But, cause he's 5 hours a week at the bigger town.
Yeah, there's
Day-
shared services,
Yeah,
have them
and-
all over the place.
And you need the expertise that the individual can bring.
Yeah.
And, but you can't afford them full-time, these smaller towns. Great,
Well, just along those lines, I'm thinking, if we have a membership campaign, maybe there's a couple press releases. Maybe we're putting together a deck that's talking points, and maybe it serves both of those things, maybe.
well, I know.
Maybe
the
we
other
can do some
subcommittee-
networking and just talking to people and reminding them who we are.
The other subcommittee Jim had, suggested was a communications or marketing committee.
Yeah.
So, great.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
next-
is that it for board candidates? Now we know we're gonna be talking to the full board about it, and
Riley and I and Lisa will meet this afternoon.
Would potentially you guys take 2 builders if they became available?
Sure.
Good.
Yeah.
I like your thought.
Well,
Not just one, but
I
two.
have 2 people in mind, both would be excellent.
I love
and,
that.
How about Bill,
I-
Gilbane, who just got the micro.
Yeah.
contract. Great.
That's
Yep.
awesome, Rick.
Yeah.
All right, so moving along to the governance
I guess
committee
just one thing
charter
on the,
review.
on the committee.
Oh, okay.
Jim, did you have thoughts on the chair of the loan committee?
Oh, yeah, going back to that.
Yeah, you wanna discuss it
In
openly
executive
here
session?
or in executive
Yeah.
session?
Okay, why don't we, do the executive session?
Go into that
Good.
now,
Good.
Okay, so-
We'll,
Tonight.
at the end of.
at the end, okay, we'll go, yeah, okay, so we'll get back to that at the end of the.
Thanks.
Madam Chair, we could then go to the
The
charter.
charter review,
The charter review is an annual review that we undertake to make sure that it's the charter reflects the work of the committee, and then we're able to submit it to the state, having had it approved. So we found no changes, and we recommend that it be approved for 2025-26.
Motion approved. Second.
all those in favor,
Aye.
anyone opposed, so carried. So now this goes to the full board for a vote also?
Yes.
Okay. And now, next on the agenda is the draft for the 2026 meeting schedule. You wanna lock all these dates in?
Well, I think we want you to take it and review it, and then at the review it with the board, and then again at the September board meeting, approve it.
Okay.
But Lisa did want to get it out there. You know, obviously, it's all but possible.
What's that?
I have to get them all on Zoom, so the earlier I can get them.
Yeah, so you get them in Zoom,
Earlier
and
I
then
can get
you
all
need
this
your
in.
quorum, and we can try to get everyone to accept.
And so it was more, this is the first introduction of this list for everyone to take a look at, make sure we, you know, by some happenstance, we don't have it on a federal holiday or a religious holiday, or, you know, as everybody takes a look at it, we'll see. And obviously, at times, we have to make requests to adjust dates based on either board members' schedules or staff schedules.
Question, board meetings on the fourth Tuesday or the last
The
Tuesday?
latest.
The last Tuesday of the month, I think.
And then, you know, I guess really the most important is the April one, so that we can early decide where we want to have the event, annual meeting. So we can get it booked and not have to find out that. I thought it worked well at the college.
I thought it did as well, and how was the price for that?
Oh,
Cause that was an
there-
issue, the
there was-
budget.
It was
I imagine it
very
was-
accommodating.
We had an end.
Yeah.
Right,
Well, and we also
it's a
used,
great space.
and we
for
also
it, I
used
thought.
co-art, which I thought was, you know, something that, we're, you know, we will supporting another not-for-profit, and benefiting their clients by, having it there. And I think with, Dr. Walsh's being first year, I don't think we need full board approval, but if we have this committee, consensus that we'll move forward to see if that date's available.
Right, I think it's a good idea.
Sound okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
Anything else we need to look at in these dates,
No.
other than availability, and does it make sense on the calendar, and then we'll just be prepared. At the board meeting coming up, that's when we'll present it and vote on it.
And, you know, it might be useful, and I don't think Riley can help me with it, but why don't, we take out the non-CEDC meetings for this purpose?
The board of supervisors, the IDA.
Yeah, I'll take all that stuff out, and that'll enable people to focus. We can have a.
I'm gonna leave, I'll leave mine alone.
No,
I'm not touching mine.
You're gonna have a master,
Right.
and then for each
Yeah,
board,
you can-
Less information, only
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
they need,
yeah.
the committee
And
meeting.
plus, we don't want you showing up at the county board of supervisors meeting. No.
Great.
They're not on there.
Yeah, they're not getting.
Riley, you and I can work on that. 'Cause
Yeah.
That will, and we'll do that for each of the boards so that, but absolutely, Lisa needs the master calendar that we don't want to change.
My only recommendation, I'm sure I'm the only one, but my least favorite meeting is the loan committee meeting the day after the Super Bowl.
Okay,
That's fair.
so, no loans in,
Who's
January.
Oh, the Giants.
January.
Oh, sure. I'm sure I'm a lone voice on that, but that'd be the day after the Super Bowl.
And the ones I
That could be a
want,
lunch meeting, right?
I do want to take a closer look at the finance committee meetings so that they're, you know, that they line up, with, the end of the quarter. And I think they do, you know, January, April, July, and October.
Yeah.
Well, at a certain point, the loan committee was meeting in the afternoon, wasn't it? Cause when I first was on the loan committee, I remember there being
Years
a
ago.
motion to change it for Ken's
Yeah,
scheduling
it was-
for the morning.
It's a struggle though.
It was, the afternoon was the struggle.
1 o'clock and it was
Yeah.
always a pain trying to get.
Everyone had a hard
everybody
I think it was because of, the bankers, and,
Yeah.
because they had.
I'm sure.
Staff meetings at 9.
Right.
You know, huddles.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can take a look at that. You know, I don't have, you know, any specific staffing and, I think we do want to have a discussion about the search in the executive session.
Okay.
At the end of this meeting.
Oh, okay. Do you need a motion to go to executive?
We can complete, the agenda.
We'll get through the,
Yeah,
so staffing updates, you don't have anything, we'll be discussing an executive session and.
yeah, and,
Do you have other business that you wanna bring up to?
no, I think, you know, we have been, very busy with a lot of different projects. I'll have a report, for a board meeting. I am working on, a preliminary budget to submit, Wednesday to Chairman Morrell at the county. We are going to ask, for a modest increase in our, appropriation. As you know, we'll be losing, almost $175,000 ARPA money that rolls off, this year. And, you know, we have been at the $460,000 appropriation, for more than 10 years, flat. His, sales tax is up. He was receptive to the request. He did not indicate, how he felt it would, play out. I think the, Martha, could you give a brief, or Steve, a brief overview of where we are with the second round of the $350,000 micro enterprise grants?
Sure, we are about to submit a reimbursement request to the state today. We have 3 projects that still haven't completed their construction, and we can't allow them to sign a grant agreement until the construction is complete for New York State. But all the money has been allocated and we're getting it out there. So things are moving along.
And Kinderhook. The ER, New York Forward.
That one's trickier. There's $275,000 to be allocated among buildings within a footprint that is most of the village. So far, we are aware of 3 projects. There isn't a lot of money. There are a lot of hoops to jump through. And in particular, if somebody is applying for a grant for $100,000 improvement to their building, they have to show us that they have the full $100,000 available prior to even submitting an application. So it's a grant that doesn't work for everyone, but we're hoping that we'll have maybe half a dozen projects in the village. And we're in constant touch with the mayor, so things are moving along.
And the fee on that is 25?
$29,000.
29,000. So we have engaged a consultant who helps us with grants. LaBerge Engineering, they've gone through an RFP that we did a couple of years ago for basic services. We work with Nancy Costine, who used to work here at CEDC. And she's doing this grant, that program and others that we work on at other places, so. And on the other grants, the micro enterprise, our fee over the term of the grant is 25. So, you know, we have a number of, we also have the grants where the county makes the application, they contract with us to manage the grant, and businesses can get up to $350,000 in money for equipment. But they have to, it's $15,000 a job. And so, Riley's been working on the Return Brewery. They're gonna end up with about $200,000, based on the number of jobs that they were able to create. And our fee there is, all in was 12,000.
was 16.
16,000. So
That's great.
and these small businesses are, you know, when you look at whether it's Kinderhook, whether it's the micro enterprise program or this, you know, it is helping businesses jumpstart, their activity, but, as Martha points out, and as, Steve and Riley both know, these programs are tedious and, particular, so, you do earn your money, by, administering the grants. I had, the only other thing, we did get the final count on, CFA projects, the consolidated funding. In Columbia County. We have 11, projects that will be, reviewed by the regional council. There were 6 other projects, primarily, water and sewer projects that don't go to the regional council, but applications were received. I anticipate each project, and I guess more importantly, there are only 160 projects regionally, and usually there's 250. So I think either, people are tired of the tediousness of the application process and the fact that, you apply in July, you don't know if you get the money until December, and, you know, you don't want to put your project on hold for 6 to 9 months while you're waiting for money that you may not get. You see more and more not-for-profit, and municipal applicants, and you see for-profit, people investing money, because it's just not on the timeline of how they need to work. There have been projects in the past where they did them on a rolling basis, where they had several deadlines throughout the year and made quicker decisions, but, you know, we have seen a drop in, the number of applications, this year. Each project is reviewed by 2 council members, where you score the project after reviewing the materials online. And then at the end of August, we have an all-day meeting where, the sausage is made. If I gave it a 0 and you gave it a 20, it's discussed by the 20 members of the council to reconcile, that. I generally have been accused of, great inflation, because, my position is, let the state agency who gives the 80 points, review the merits of the application, and let's support projects, because we're competing against projects in other regions. And so, for instance, if we have a project that got an 80 and we gave it a 5, it gets 85. If somebody gets a 65, in their, agency score and they get a 20, they're the same level, and, you know, it just doesn't make sense. And these programs, the state agencies, you know, really do have an understanding of what they're looking for and what they want to, promote. So it's not something, people are aware of, like great inflation, but. And water and sewer project always gets 20, because, you know, it's, and parks and recreation. That's all I have, Madam Chairman,
Okay,
or Chairperson, I'm sorry.
so,
Madam Chair.
so, thank you, we'll need a motion to go into executive session, right?
When, on the.
We'll come back and then end the
Okay.
meeting, I
Yeah,
think.
there's nobody. Okay,
No one's,
all right, we'll come back and that's it.
okay.
So.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, so moving on, we're out of executive session right now. We've addressed everything on the agenda. Mike, do you have anything more, or Jim?
I
That
do
you would like
not.
to discuss?
Thank you very much.
And there's no one from the public here, but if there were, we would ask them if they had any comment. So, motion to adjourn,
Motion.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam
Great.
Chair.
And if you can go across.